All right, today we're going to talk about a ghost story. But it's not about a haunted house. It's a ghost story about knowledge itself. It's the story of the lost library, a tale that kind of haunts our collective imagination.
But why? Just think about it for a second. Why does this idea have such a powerful grip on us? You see it in epic adventures, you see it in quieter stories. This image of a massive collection of knowledge tragically lost to time. It's a theme we just keep coming back to.
And I mean, this trope is everywhere. You've got the TV show, The Librarians, where they're literally protecting magical artifacts. In Dungeons & Dragons, you can go on a whole adventure to find the lost library of Lech Kantos. There's even a Russian film called Raiders of the Lost Library. So clearly, it's a story we love to tell. But the real question is, why?
Well, to really understand our obsession with this, we've got to look past all the fiction and find the real-life archetype that started it all.
Because this isn't just some fun idea for a movie. It's actually a cultural memory. It's like an echo of a deep historical trauma that's been passed down, a story about something very real that was taken from all of us.
So let's talk about the great libraries. Now, these weren't just buildings with a bunch of books. No, these were monumental projects. They were these incredible centers of scholarship with just a breathtaking ambition to collect, translate, and preserve all of the world's knowledge under one roof.
And you know, it's that incredible ambition that makes their downfall one of the greatest tragedies in human history. So, let's take a look at these titans of the ancient world.
You've got the legendary Library of Alexandria in Egypt, which was really the intellectual heart of the Hellenistic world. And then you have the Imperial Library of Constantinople. For almost 1,000 years, that place was the guardian of ancient Greek and Roman thought, way after Rome itself had fallen.
And just listen to this. The inscription that was supposedly carved above the shelves in Alexandria, it didn't say the place of books. It said the place of the cure of the soul. I mean, that tells you everything about how they saw knowledge, not just as data or information, but as something totally essential for a healthy mind and really a healthy society.
But this whole legacy is just one of repeated, devastating loss. And the destruction wasn't one single event. That's the tragedy. It was this slow-motion catastrophe that stretched across centuries. You had a massive fire in Constantinople in 473. Then the sacking of that same city by Crusaders in 1204. And then, in 1258, the complete and total obliteration of Baghdad's incredible House of Wisdom by invading Mongols.
To really wrap your head around the scale of this, just look at the numbers. The Library of Alexandria, at its absolute peak, is thought to have held over 400,000 papyrus scrolls. That is a staggering collection of the ancient world's literature, its science, its philosophy.
And the losses were just as catastrophic. In that one fire, just one, in Constantinople back in 473, an estimated 120,000 volumes were just turned to ash. A whole city's, and really the world's, intellectual heritage gone in an instant. And it was the same story in Baghdad. Their House of Wisdom was on a similar scale, holding over 400,000 books before it was totally destroyed. The cumulative loss from just these three centers, it's almost impossible to even comprehend. But see, this ancient trauma doesn't just stay in the past, it actually echoes forward, and it continues to shape our fears and even our art today.
That fear, the fear that knowledge is fragile, that our collective memory can just decay or be violently erased, that's a deeply modern anxiety.
You know, take a look at Stan Strembicki's photo series, The Lost Library. He went and captured these images of books that were destroyed by the floodwaters of Hurricane Katrina, and the pictures are just absolutely haunting. In his work, you can see a direct line to those ancient losses. We're confronted with the fragility of physical knowledge. We see the shocking speed at which culture can just be washed away, and this tangible physical decay of our memory. His art is a modern response to the exact same kind of trauma that scholars must have felt in Alexandria or Constantinople all those centuries ago. So what was the real price of losing these libraries? I mean, it's easy to think of it as just, a lot of old books gone. But the reality is so much bigger than that.
What we really lost was a future. Actually, multiple futures. See, these libraries weren't just archives, they were active research centers, pushing the boundaries of what humans understood. When they were destroyed, it wiped out scientific discoveries that we had to rediscover centuries later. It erased entire philosophical debates. It literally closed off potential paths for our entire civilization.
Let me make this really concrete for you. What we saved?
Most of the Greek classics we have today exist because of dedicated scribes in Constantinople. What was innovated? At Alexandria, Eratosthenes accurately calculated the circumference of the Earth, over 2,000 years ago. But what we lost? Countless works by Stoic philosophers, people we only know about from passing mentions in other books. We lost the translated knowledge from Persia, from India, and so much more.
So here it is. The crucial point is this. Every single time we watch a movie or play a game about finding a lost library, we're not just enjoying some fantasy story, we are taking part in a cultural ritual. It's our way of collectively remembering and trying to process the very real and very devastating loss of our own intellectual history.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final and pretty urgent question. The great libraries were lost to things like fire and war and neglect, but in our digital age of fleeting data and constantly changing formats, what essential knowledge are we at risk of losing today?